The night was dark, warm and secretive, Brie Canfield thought, as she opened the casement windows. She took great, heaving gulps of the honeysuckle-scented air, but it didn't help to alleviate the terrible nightmare she'd just experienced. Behind her, the air conditioner whirred and wheezed, a sign the filter needed to be changed. The room was dark, too, because she hadn't changed the light bulb. She hadn't done the dishes either, or her laundry. For weeks. Maybe it was months. She simply could not remember. Brie strained to see something in the darkness, something that would reassure her that things were right, normal, and that life was going to be the way it was before. Cars passed, like ghostly blue shadows. Why did they look like that? She should know. Maybe it was important. She swayed, and her grip on the windowsill tightened so that her knuckles snapped and crackled. Maybe she needed to eat something more substantial than broth and a slice of bread. But the cupboard was bare, the refrigerator empty. She panicked then. That meant she would have to get dressed and go out to the store. She also had to keep her appointment with the department psychiatrist. Maybe she could do both things on the same day. She took in more deep breaths. She started to cry, knowing full well that tears wouldn't help unless... She backed away from the open window and sat down on her bed. Unless... She gave in and called Bode Jessup. Bode would know what to say to her to make things right. She should have called him sooner. Why hadn't she? Because I love him and he doesn't love me, that's why. Because he loves Callie Parker, one of my oldest and dearest friends. She tried to pep talk herself, but it wasn't going to work because her stomach was tied in knots and she was sweating profusely, even though the thermostat said it was only 62 degrees in her apartment. She began to weep again because there was nothing else for her to do. She couldn't call now. Bode would hear the tears in her voice. So what was wrong with his knowing she was upset? Why else would she call him in the middle of the night? Although he might think she had called to talk about Callie Parker's wedding. To someone other than himself. So who cared about that either? Brie's hand stretched out. She didn't need to look up Bode's home phone number, even though she carried it on a slip of paper in her wallet. It was the first name in her address book under the A's. She didn't want his name in the middle of the book. Callie's number was right under Bode's, and so was Sela's. Her 3 best friends in the whole entire world, and she hadn't called any of them.